we're all going to be working together. We can't be working on our own. Even here at Green School, we all need to be collaborating and helping each other to achieve the common goal. And the common goal is to reduce that climate, make it a better world for all the children living now, but also the new ones that will be coming through very soon too.
Welcome to yet another episode of SELINTalks, podcast by Selint Club, where we spark conversation that ignite change. I'm Shruti Verma, and today we're diving into a world where education meets environmental action. With our guest, Edd. Edd stands at the forefront of integrating ecological stewardship into the fabric of education, nurturing young minds to become champions of the planet. With a track record of innovating projects and significant accolades, Edd's passion reshapes how we think about sustainability in schools and with kids. Get ready for an enlightening journey through the landscape of learning and green initiatives, right here on SELINTalks podcast. Let's get started. Welcome to SELINTalks podcast, Edd. We're delighted to have you here. We're very, very excited. I was reading about your work. It has been very extraordinary. And to begin, you've met some incredible figures like King Charles and Dame Jane Goodall. Could you share a memorable moment from one of those encounters that resonated with your mission and environmental education?
Yes, so I met King Charles in our school garden, and we had the children growing many different vegetables of different varieties, and it was magical. The children got to explain that there were different types of carrots. There weren't just orange carrots, there were yellow, purple, white carrots. Wow. And I think that was a magical experience that I will always remember, because it was something that I felt really passionate about, and I know the King felt very passionate about it too. Getting children out, growing from seed and then harvesting it, but also making sure that children knew that there were different varieties too.
Yeah. And what about Dame Jane Goodall?
Dame Jane Goodall, I think she was always really impressed with our entrepreneur ideas, trying to we were using nature and learning from nature through the environmental products that we were making, so biomimicry. And we made, I think our best one was we made beeswax wraps. So we had the local community donating beeswax to us. We had adults cutting up this 100% cotton material, and then we had the children going through the processes of dipping it in, because it's a natural antibacterial beeswax keeps food fresh, and we use that in cling film. And the children went out and they sold the beeswax wraps in farmers markets and big shows, and they made like £5,000, which then went back into our nature projects that built built a nature reserve with a pond. So children learned the value of money, but also they learned from nature and the importance of nature.
That's brilliant. What actually started this entire thing? Like your passion for environment, and how did it involve? And actually what started it? I'm very curious to know.
Yeah, my granddad, when I was growing up, when I was a little boy, he used to sit in his garden, and he had an allotment, and he would grow everything from seed. He would never go to the supermarket. He would make his own bread. He would make boats out of reused wood. He would make kayaks. He was a really talented man, and I used to watch him and my dad do all these amazing things to reuse and reduce. And then I obviously took it on with my dad, and we did a few things together. And now I'm taking it further through what I've been taught from a small boy to now an adult.
This is like a whole legacy, and will be taken forward by a number of kids as well. You currently are working as eco-coordinator and educator. How does that work?
I instill the environment and empower children to stand up and have a passion for the environment and speak passionately about something that they truly believe in, that they can make a difference at home, in the community, on a world stage. And we go through many processes, through many projects to teach them that they can have an impact on our environment and on climate change.
That's brilliant. So currently in Bali, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I spent 12 years in a state school in England, and then Green School Bali came calling, and it felt like an amazing opportunity to work at one of the top eco schools in the world.
Yeah, I'm sure the experience must have been completely different from the state school to this, is it?
Yeah, it's not too bad. In my state school, I've embedded an environmental nature curriculum over 7 years, and it's not that far off what the curriculum here is at Green School. So it's put me in some good steads. I can use some of the ideas and that I've learned over the years and bring them here to Green School to help them progress and put them in even a bigger stage than they're already at.
That's brilliant. Amazing. You've also led a lot of successful eco projects. Could you walk us through one or two that you particularly are proud of, or explain the impact it had on the kids and the educators as well that are working with you?
One of my highlights was rewilding an area which is just not that far from school in England. It was literally a bare piece of land. It looked a bit scruffy, and took the children out and we picked wildflower seeds from other wildflowers, and then we scattered the wildflowers onto this bare bit of land, which was fantastic. But we didn't stop there, because it's really important, I feel, that children know what they're seeing, smelling, hearing, and are using all their senses, and children just don't know the names of these wildflowers, don't know the names of the trees. So taught them the names through nature journaling. So then they became the expert. So then they became the tour guides. They were then giving tours around these meadows, around our outside area, naming all the wildflowers and teaching the adults. And we invite people in from the community, and we had a good old little tourist attraction going on that children created themselves. But then we didn't stop there, because then it was a 2-year project. So we carried on, and they wanted a nature board with a QR code to help basically the community to discover what was on their doorstep. So we made a nature board with a QR code, which then related to things that they could find, wildflowers, birds, insects. I'd help educate the community when the children weren't there, giving out their tours. So that was extra special, and the wildflower meadow is extraordinary. And people who need nature, they supported us back home in England. A guy called Miles King, who's a really, really great guy, knows loads about biodiversity, and we learnt loads, and the children learnt loads, and they still do. Their parents still email me now saying, "Oh, we still remember all the wildflowers," and really excited. So that was a huge project, and that also got the children out, because they started going to wildflower meadows locally. They started going to places where they never even thought they would go, and it was free. It was free to get outside into nature. You didn't have to pay a single penny.
That's beautiful. I think with all of the teachings, the power of patience also is something that I could gather that they would have learned, because it was a 2-year project, like you said, right? Yeah. So watching the entire barren land grow into a meadow, it's like a very big deal.
Yeah, and the first year wasn't so good, and so we picked more. And these are children that were like 5 and 6 years old. And then they were obviously then moved being 7 years old, but they still have that passion. They still have that drive, like you said, determination, resilience. They learned so much, and they learned all these skills as well that, you just can't teach.
That's beautiful. That's actually very beautiful. I mean, apart from all the success in the teaching, the fact that they're learning this early on, because honestly, I have learned the power of nature, or let's say growing your own vegetables or kind of, you reusing stuff very late in life. But if the kids of tomorrow are able to learn this quickly or early on, that's somewhere going. I think it's going to a direction where the earth is not so bad.
Yeah, definitely. It's so important, isn't it? And it's so important to get children out there, out into nature. And it's amazing still that some still don't realise where their food comes from, and that it's, grown from a seed, and they just think that it comes from the supermarket, or or they're just so used to eating fast food that they're just they just don't have that knowledge.
Actually, that's true. If we take the entire population of kids, they don't know where the food is coming from, and the whole problem with fast food. All right. You integrate gardening and young enterprise and environmental care deeply into curriculum. How do you balance this with the traditional educational demands, and what transformation do you see in kids?
Obviously it was tough. There's someone called Ofsted in England that's constantly on your shoulder, but it was great that the head teacher at the time saw that it was very worthwhile. It was really important, and it's so easy to do as well. We don't need to wait for a government to change the curriculum. You can easily thread through environmental and regenerative objectives through our national curriculum in England. I've proven that you can do it, and we did it for 7 years. So you can, we just need schools to take that initiative themselves and start to try and embed it, rather than trying to wait for a government that, is still, dawdling on what's important and how to do it, sort of thing. Let's go out and show the government that, that it can be done. And, our school in England is a great example of that it can be done. And there are some other great schools in England that are doing some great stuff too, that they've gone and taken their own initiative as well, and they're making some really great grounds. And I think we saw the skill set. I think the skill set and the mindset of children changed when we started to do our environmental learning. Children started to take their learning into the community and started making a difference there. Started talking to councils, and started talking to town mayors, and even going further and going to Parliament and writing to their local MP. Those are the sort of impacts that we want to see. It's one thing teaching it in the classroom, but we want to see it going into the communities, and that's where we're going to see some really big changes and some really big impact. And we might even find some ministers and MPs and for later years to come. That's the goal. Or children that are then taking their learning and they set up an environmental organisation, or they come up with a unique idea that can reduce single-use plastic or reduce the pollution in our air, or something along those lines.
I think it's moreover around the fact that kids are going to create an impact. It's going to be like a ripple effect is what I see.
Yeah, definitely. It's so important. If one person starts, then the next comes, ripple effect, domino effect. You just want to keep on going down the chain, sort of thing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you mentioned that there is not a lot of intervention of the government for schools to do something like this. What do you think schools across the globe could learn from the approach that you're leading here and you've led in England?
I think they would, learn that it is possible. Start with a project. That's really important. Galvanize the school to come together on a project, and everybody working together, which then you can involve the community, make an impact there, which can bring all kinds of things from experts to, donations of funds. And then they get to see what you're doing within school. Children have got so much from learning this way, and learning from nature is so important.
Best teacher. Yeah.
Yes, there's so much we can learn, and we are still learning. There's so much, and that has an impact on the things that we make and the things that we see and how we act. I think schools can take a lot from that.
If somebody has to, let's say somebody is watching this podcast and they want to get in touch with you, a school owner or an educator, around what they can do for their school. Are you consulting people for that?
Yeah, so I do. I've got a little consultancy company on the side of what I do, and I support schools to help them become environmentally friendly. Write climate action strategies. I also work with organisations and businesses on their educational programs.
That's beautiful.
Writing blog articles or animations. So I'm very passionate about the environment and supporting everybody, not just schools, but businesses and others.
That's actually good. It's just not the duty of the schools or responsibility of the educator. Everybody should be involved with this, because this is the need of the hour. With the growing importance of sustainability, we talked about this. How do you envision the future of environmental education specifically, especially concerning young leaders or, let's say, regenerative projects?
I think there's more from schools now. More schools they want to go down this line. The problem area is lots just don't know where to start. But I see that by having climate action advisors like we have in England, or people like me, or other organisations supporting schools like that, or collaborating. I think collaborating is so important, and schools coming together and working together to make our world better. And I think that is exciting. That's very exciting, and there's definitely something in that. Whether it's Green School working with other schools across the globe to help them to become environmentally friendly, or having a hub of amazing, outstanding eco schools that can then help everybody else. Coming up, there's great excitement across the world. There's so much going on, and I think we are heading in the right way. It might be not as quick as some people would like, but I think we're in a good place.
Like we say, that something is better than nothing.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're just doing one thing, you concentrate on that one thing for a week or a month, you become successful at that, and then you go on to something else, and you become, and you keep on doing things like that. I always say to people, just try and do one thing well, and then everything else will then fit into place.
Consistency, yes, that's true. Could you share a story where an eco project had a surprising impact beyond your expectation, or something that you initially anticipated?
Yeah, so we did a huge project on single-use plastic. The children came to me at the time and sort of said, we want to do something about it. What can we do? And this was before Blue Planet came on the screen. So we were ahead of the curve. This sort of 2017, and I never knew my wildest dreams the impact could be so huge that we would basically be the front runners within England, leading on this, and working with amazing organisations like Campaign to Set Rural England, Surfers Against Sewage, to campaign for a deposit return system. Where basically you pay an extra for your bottle, your can, and then if you return it, you then get the money back.
Right,
We went on this big crusade across Dorset, and then we ended up in London talking to. At the time, we spoke to the Environment Minister, who at the time was Michael Gove, and the children literally put him to task on children's television. He agreed to come on, and our children literally asked him some really demanding questions, and then they came back with more questions. Because I think he just felt he was just turning up with some questions that had already been given to him, so he knew some of the questions that were coming up, but he didn't realise that our children, they were quite passionate about this, and they came back with questions after he had answered, sort of thing, on this big children's TV program called News Round, and I never thought that the children had just had that passion, and they had that confidence to, this is the Minister of the Environment, surely you're starstruck, but we had a huge impact there. They signed up, over half the businesses within Dorset, within Dorchester, our local town, signed up to removing these free single-use plastics, and that was children going door to door on their weekends saying, look, can you replace your straws and your cups and your plastic bottles with some alternatives? We've got some alternatives to help you along the way.
Wow.
And that was huge. That was massive. And that I still remember that project, and that project is still going on now. So
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like you said, I think that the kids do not think about who's standing in front of them, or that person holds some kind of a designation or, official designation in an office or things like that. They were just like really passionate. I think if we go forward with this attitude, what these kids actually had, that will be something. We'll be able to ask people more questions who are actually accountable for things.
Yeah, definitely. And teaching them to, say no, take no for an answer, don't take no for an answer, sort of thing, and kept on. And that was like instilled within them. And they knew, from the letters they were writing to talking to ministers like that. And MPs came down to like hear them as well from other parties. And we got a lot of respect from the House of Commons through that project.
I'm sure.
And that is still taught. And I think the big impact that it also had was on the town.
Yes,
so we took it even further. We took it across the town, and from that, lots of environmental groups popped up. A repair cafe, a rethink fashion organisation. Lots of things then started to appear within the town, and it's great that it's thriving now. And thanks to the children, they got, other adults got inspired to take action themselves, and all these environmental organisations are, making even more bigger impact. And that was the inspiration of the children.
It's truly a story of inspiration. The fact that they're still going on, it's a big deal. Yeah. Usually it's passionate when it's new. Everybody is all up for, let's say, steel straws that was coming in place, or bamboo toothbrush. But like I said, it's exciting when it's new, but the fact that it's still going on, it's a huge deal.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's massive. It's massive. It's huge. It shows as well, doesn't it? How important it is to involve children and get them leading, how much of an impact they can have on leading a project and how much they get from that. And they make so much more of an impact than us adults.
That's
true. Who can say no to a child, as well?
Yeah, we have a lot of baggage, right? Through our growing up stage, we get baggage. But kids are without baggage, they speak their mind, and nobody says no to the kid. That's true.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Do you think there is an ideal school environment in terms of sustainability or eco-consciousness? Do you think that could be something that can be achieved?
Yeah, definitely. We've got so many vibrant young children out there that with a passion who are resilient, and they want to make an impact locally or around the world. And like I said earlier, collaboration is such a huge thing. We can't do this on our own. We need to be working together, and the more we get working together, the better, and we can make such a huge impact together. Because one organisation can't do what 10, 20, 100 organisations can all do together.
I think after this podcast, we should set up another call to discuss what we can do as a company.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'll be up for that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I won't say I'm completely, I don't have completely sustainable lifestyle, but I'm trying. It's always about how much you can try, right? It should not be just a huge jump or overconsumption of things. I have stopped over-consuming things. If I have something, let's say a pair of shoes, I use it till it's actually done and dusted. So things like that. I mean, we're still trying, but I think overconsumption is one of the things that adults or the grown-ups should stop doing for the first step.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a little small step. Focusing on one thing first and then doing something else, but doing that first thing well. And, waste management is, the waste management hierarchy is always a good first thing to look at. What can you be, refusing in your household, or what can you be reducing, and what then reuse and refill and repair, and, all those things are really important to teach children. I've got a vision in my mind at the moment of I want to teach children how to like fix electronics and sew, and so then perhaps they can then set up a repair cafe themselves. You know,
there is a lot of e-waste which is causing a lot of pollution as well, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that, you know, and that's huge in Bali. You know, there's so many people on scooters and cars. Yeah. You know, that's how people get around. And the air pollution is you know, it's not great. And that's why when I came to Bali, I was adamant that I wanted a electric bicycle to cycle around on. So everywhere I go, I cycle on this electric bicycle, which is then charged through solar. So it's basically a carbon neutral bike, which is then free cycle around Bali. That's
amazing. I think before coming, I need to learn how to ride a cycle. I don't know.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'll teach you. Come along.
I'll come. I'm very excited to actually be there, because ever since I heard about your work, and actually Kyle commented somewhere, and that's how I got to know about your work. He visited you guys, right? Kyle Wagner. And that's how I got to know that there is a school and that's you and things like that. I've been following, and I think I'm just going to pay a visit probably the beginning of next year.
Oh, no, thank you so much. And yeah, Carl's doing amazing stuff through his education experiences and his journey as well. And Carl obviously came to Bali a couple of weeks ago, sort of thing. And we went out for this amazing bike ride. And it was great to chat with him. And yeah, he's been a huge support in my work, and I like supporting his work too.
Yeah, collaboration, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. Collaboration, yeah.
Yeah. So, Ed, as we wrap up today's enlightening conversation, could you share what you envision for the future of environmental education? Plus, what do you hope your legacy will inspire the next generation of eco-ambassador?
Yeah, I see children learning from nature and about nature. I think that's so important, and coming up with innovative ideas and products, and really showing us all the way of where we need to go. I think, they are the future at the end of the day, and we need to be listening. We need to stop listening to those politicians. We need to listen more to the children and the young people. They're showing us the way, and, governments need to start, listening to them and then acting upon what they say. Because look, they've got some great ideas, and they are the future. They're the ones, pushing us forwards.
I 100% second that. People need to start listening to kids. They're far more intelligent. I think they've always been intelligent. They don't have hidden agendas in place, and they demand what they need. So that's exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the future is bright. The future is bright, and there's many great things going on. And my final thing is collaboration. Now, we've got to be working together. We're all going to be working together. We can't be working on our own. Even here at Green School, we all need to be collaborating and helping each other to achieve the common goal. And the common goal is to reduce that climate and, make it a better world for all the children living now, but also the new ones that will be coming through very soon too.
Yeah. Something just on the top of my head, I forgot to ask you. If somebody is just starting their journey in eco-education, or just starting their journey to realize that, hey, this is something that I want to do as an educator. I want to educate my kids or my school or the peers and everybody towards what, environmental benefits are, or ecological things that they can do to make, protect their own piece of land or anything, any impact they would want to do. What is the key piece of advice you would like to give them to inspire and guide them through?
Yeah, I think within a school, set up a committee, set up a group of passionate change makers, come together, give out roles, look around your school of what you can be doing, put together an action plan and start working through that action plan to galvanise your school to push forward and become environmentally regenerative friendly, and get the adults involved too. That's a great way to push forwards and concentrate on one project. Let's do one project across your school, get everybody involved, which will then inspire a community. You get the community involved, then you're halfway there to great collaboration and making an impact on your environment.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. Lovely, lovely conversation. And thank you for inspiring so many people with your work. This has been amazing. And I hope to see you soon again. And would love to discuss what we can do as a company as well, whenever you do have the time.
Yeah, of course. No, we'd love to have that. We'd love to have that discussion. And when you're next in Bali or you come to Bali,
yes.
You're very welcome to have a tour around Green School.
100%. I'm going to contact you for that, because if I come, I'm just going to come for that.
Yeah, definitely. Just come to Green School and
yes.
we'll change your mindset. We'll inspire you.
I'm sure it will, because sometimes we need a very inspiring break to kind of get new ideas and things like that. So I believe in it. Thank you so much for taking our time to have this conversation with us.
No, you're very welcome, and thank you so much for having me.
Lovely. Have a nice day. Thank you all for tuning in to SELINTalks podcast. A big thanks to Ed for sharing his profound insights and experiences with us today, illuminating the path towards a greener, more sustainable future through education. His dedication to nurturing young eco-ambassador truly inspires us to think globally and act locally. Remember, every small step we take in our classrooms can lead to a monumental change in our world. So, until next time, keep pushing the boundaries of learning and innovation. See you in the next episode of SELINTalks podcast by Selin Club, where we continue to explore the new horizons in education. Keep learning, keep inspiring, and keep making a difference.